Yeah, go and find this Scottsdale rail trail. I think about 25k long. Just camped at the free Scottsdale camp at the park. I think there's a track that goes out the back here somewhere to the rail trail. It's been a bit crook, so it's a bit of a half-hearted effort. Through here. I'm pretty sure there's a connecting track through here. We'll see. Oh yeah, rail trail, 800 metres. I think all those ducks live back here, but they come around the campground a couple of times a day begging for food. This looks like a likely way. You can see the rail line on the map, it sort of goes out and around the back here. Mainly heads east at the moment, but they are planning to continue it through west towards what's it called, Lilydale. Oh yeah, this must be it. Or is it? Oh, yeah, it must be, but poor old me clicking away. Questioning whether I was on the rail trail, but obviously not. It's 600 metres this way. A few tracks through here, but I guess they're just mountain bike tracks. Yeah, it looks like the rail trail's actually just up here a little bit. The number of disused lines we've got in Tasmania and the popularity of rail trails, there should be more of them. Yeah, this would be... Oh yeah, this would be it. Cool. Not like it takes a great deal of effort to convert them from rail lines into a trail, even if it's just filling between the rails with gravel. But I guess they have safety standards and that they've got to abide by, which would add cost and everything else. Be good to see this rail trail continue through to the tunnel over near Lilydale, the tunnel. That's a cool tunnel. Pump the back tyre up a bit, but still a bit low, I think. Looks like it gets some use. Almost looks like an ATV trail with at least they mark the road crossings pretty good, so you're less likely to get mowed down. Might stop up here somewhere and pump the tyre up a bit. Just feeling a bit squeegee. Get run over. Yeah, North East Tas Rail Trail. I've marked a possible hut on the map in here, but I'm not sure why. A bit of burnt junk in here, but maybe there's an old siding, can't remember. Often add marks to my map and yeah, then forget why I added them. I should put notes on them better, but it does look like there's something here. Yeah. Oh yeah, this would be why I've marked it. Maybe on one of my old maps it was shown as a building here, which there was. Might pump this tyre up a bit. Odd cuttings here and there. This was a big part of the reason I bought this bike and electrified it, because I figured I'd probably take it to the mainland at some stage and just do a winter over there, going around the rail trails. There's so many of them through New South Wales and Queensland. Sort of just another excuse to go somewhere I wouldn't go otherwise. There's some quite interesting looking ones up in Queensland, especially through the mining areas. Oh, the old historic mining areas. This is probably where the money had come into doing the rail trails, is doing safe bridge crossings and that, because there'd be plenty of them along, yeah, this whole line. Oh, first sign I've seen.
Okay.
Hey.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. How dare he be riding my track? I thought I had it to myself. I'm envious of the people with decent e-bikes. I just wasn't sure how I'd go riding with my dodgy knees, and wasn't sure how much use I'd get out of one, so I couldn't justify like bloody 6, 8, 10 grand on something decent, which is why I built this one up for a couple of grand in COVID times. But we'll get something better eventually, but this is sort of keeping me content for the moment. Got a loo there as well for people using the trail, which is a good idea. As per the sign, Rotary Club of Scottsdale project. Thought it was someone standing there. It was bloody motorbike helmet on the post. If I had to guess, I'd say it's an old mining pond, but mining dam, but I've got no idea. Route seems to go off the rails here, but I assume that's the original route up there, but the track deviates off for some reason. Yeah. I went round that side and I thought, nah, this is just too steep to be the rail trail, but came back and it's this way. Might have been bridges here or something, and they've deviated the track down and around because the bridge doesn't exist anymore. well, whether it's on the motorbike or the push bike, I always keep left, but it's surprising how many people don't. Same with hiking. It's frustrating how often you'll come across people that'll be two across a track and they won't go single file to let you past, or they'll be on the wrong side of the track and they expect you to get out the way, and it's like, geez, you just have to wonder about people. Very solid granite. Can't be bothered stopping and reading them all. Ah, okay. It would have been about this cutting through the granite rock. A decent chunk of rock. Had ambitions of going up and poking around Blue Tier above Waldborough on the way through, but I've only got my two lowest gears and my two highest gears, because on the west coast I clipped a log and bent a derailleur into a pretzel, and I've sort of straightened it out and calibrated it, but it's stuffed. So all my middle gears are skipping, so I can only run the two, stay in the two lowest or two highest, which is okay on stuff like this, but yeah, it'd be interesting if I got the grottier stuff. I might have a look though, see what happens. There's a hut up there I need to hunt out anyway, so yeah, I'll probably poke my nose in and see how I go. Oh, more granite cuttings. These are pretty cool actually. Bloody hell of a lot of rocks being removed. Especially with the mountain bike park out at places like May-2025, they should do a rail trail from Hobart out to May-2025 so that cycle tourists can get all the way out there and to the mountain bike park and such. Mind you, the same with Derby. They should do this trail from Launceston all the way through. It'd be a good tourist draw card. Down a little bit round here since it's pretty much single file and around a obstructed corner. The power cuts out at 25 kilometres an hour, as it should do legally, but so it's quite easy to end up sitting on that 25, 26 all the time. especially on flat stuff, you tend to, you got the motor to help you get up to the 25, and then you just push that little bit more so that you're doing most of the work. But then you hit a bit of a hill and you drop back to the 25, the motor kicks back in, and this looks to be up on raised fill. A hell of a lot of work. There's a sign back there that said 15k to Scottsdale, and I think 11 to the end of the line. So got a bit over halfway now. Mind you, I didn't start right in Scottsdale. I started sort of outside on the campground. Probably won't bother riding that part between the campground and Scottsdale. I'll leave that until they get the next section of the track done, and then I'll come back up here and go from the campground the other way. I don't think they've even started that. I think it's just in the talking about stages at the moment. Certainly a nice track. Good way to spend a couple of hours. $15k from Scottsdale. Nice little rest and weather shelter, which is kind of cool. They've done things like this, and the toilet. These slightly longer rides, I always carry a spare tube and pump and a few tools, just because it's yeah, too far to have to push the bike back. I could always get back out on the highway and hitch back and then bring the van to collect the bike, but that'll be a pain in the backside. Not only the rock cuttings, but there's a lot of really big bloody dirt cuttings as well. E-bikes have certainly come down in price in recent times. There's quite a few cheaper Chinese ones on the market now that sort of look okay for a couple of grand, but you sort of get what you pay for. It's this actual mountain bike, I think I paid $400 for it, and it was an okay quality mountain bike, second hand, and then I put the electric kit on it. So the actual basis of the bike was quite good to start with, like the hydraulic brakes and reasonable running gear and decent wheels and such. Whereas just buying a cheap Chinese e-bike, you're sort of getting the cheapest of everything. Cheap bearings, cheap wheels, and yeah, I think a lot of them have just turned into a bit of a money pit. Probably okay if you're just doing cycle, like sealed bike tracks and such, but going a bit rugged and off-road, yeah, I'm not sure how they'd last. Sort of funny, I noticed one of the popular Tassie YouTuber is spruiking these little e-bikes now. He's obviously been given one to advertise it, but it's one of those little 20-inch fat-wheeled ones. Watched one of his videos when he was doing a trip on it, but he fails to mention that it's 1,000 watts, which is illegal to use in public or on the roads or anywhere in Tassie. And and just the fact it looks like an old school mini bike, if you did try riding it around the streets in suburbia, the cops would soon bail you up. You'd probably get away with it for a bit, but yeah, things are gonna, no doubt they're gonna clamp down in time, and yeah, it's just not worth the hassle. So better off sticking with something that's legal, or something that looks legal. Yeah, like the wattage limit, the legal wattage limit's 250 watts, but a lot of companies will make a 250, 500, 750 watt, and they all look pretty much the same. So if you did get like a 500 watt or a 750 watt, and yeah, the cops probably aren't going to worry about you unless you're speeding and obviously doing way over 25 kilometers an hour, or yeah, or you're actually doing something wrong. Just waffling on for the sake of it now. I do quite enjoy the mountain bike though. It's yeah, just another excuse to get out of here. Certainly easier than hiking, things like this. She Oaks. Looks like a motorbike's been along here at some stage, just a small dirt bike or something. There's odd chew marks and stuff. But, probably got to expect that with the locals, and kids taking shortcuts. And I've done 18k so far. Another 3k. Oh no, it's the highway. I assume it continues on. There must just be a bailout point. There we go, another station. Main it. Looks like there was a water tank here as well, but someone's probably knocked it off. I was just looking at my map, and yeah, this does end at that Billycock, which is I can't pronounce it, Tolendina Station or something, Tolendina siding. So another 5k. Bunch of those black sulphur crested black cockatoos around. Plantation. This section will be a bit nicer once the pine trees grow up. Typical harvested plantation moonscape at the moment. not too far from the end now. Got things set up pretty good now because I've got the second big dirty big lithium battery in the van and a little inverter, so I can recharge the bike in the van and then recharge the battery off the van's alternator. The van's already got a 100 amp hour lithium battery in it to run the fridge and the heater and everything else, lights and such, but and I bought a big 200 amp hour lithium battery for running the electric motor on the tinny, for the tinny trips. So that's mounted in like a big briefcase, so I throw that in the van and use it to run the inverter to recharge this. It's big enough I could probably get, I don't know, probably 3 full battery charges out of it if I ran the bike battery dead flat, which I generally don't do, but yeah, so after each ride I just top it up in the van and then recharge it as I'm driving around. So like this trip away, it's been 3 weeks so far, and I've stayed in 3 camps the whole time. I haven't had to pay for caravan parks or powered sites to be able to recharge shit. Back against the highway here. Carry an extra, the van's got a couple of solar panels on it to recharge the house battery in it, but I carry a couple of 200 watt solar blankets as well to recharge the big battery, but if I need to, but I haven't needed to use them yet. I assume this might be the end of the line. Yeah, this is it. Toowoomdeana, I don't know how to pronounce it. Toowoomdeana. Yeah, pretty sure this is the end of it. Go and see if there's a sign or something. Good parking area across the road. I don't know if that's the end of the... Oh no, the rail line did continue on. Be good if they do eventually get it connected from Launceston through to Derby and that. Oh, well, that is for me from the campground. That's 23.6k and hour and 7 minutes moving time. So I guess that'll be about the same back. Starting to get back into those big granite cuttings. Certainly moved a lot of rock. sort of almost pinky coloured granite. What more could you ask for? Granite cuttings, man ferns, nice sunny day. Pretty much always wear gloves, just 'cause I'm not a fan of gravel rash if I come a cropper. Generally always just wearing my hiking boots as well, just because yeah, often doing some walking, and good old Shimano fishing shirts for the sun protection, and I just like to be covered up, especially clipping odd twigs and branches and things. It's yeah. Same with hiking, I generally always wear these just to for the sun and physical protection. Not a huge amount of protection if you hit the ground, but it's still better than nothing. Less chance to get the gravel embedded in the skin. And I just hate the full sun, like the sun protection. Few kilo of explosives to blast all this out. saw a couple of these and I thought they might be for holding on to when you pull up, but they're bloody low. Oh, I'll have a little break here. Yeah, the bike's just an old hardtail Scott Aspect, nothing fancy. And then the Bafang mid-drive kit put on it, and 48 volt, I think it's 17.5 amp hour battery, and I'm sensitive, so I put a dirty big cheap seat on it, which is still a bit hard on the arse. Just some cheap guards because I don't like getting covered in mud, and the places I go are often shitty. Put this adjustable head stem on it just to get the bars a bit closer and a bit more upright. It's a bit easier on the back. I sort of prefer a more upright riding position. Probably not much else to say about it. All a bit crude and rough, but she does the job. It's had some punishment and held together. Put sensors on the brake levers, so I've only got to sort of put a finger on the brake lever and the motor cuts out. Speed always reads high compared to the GPS though. Not sure why. I've got the wheel size set right and such, but not a big deal. Just past that guy, I passed it going the other way near the start. He's all in black on a black bike. I didn't see him till the last minute. Gave me a bit of a shock. Big part of a reason for these light blue shirts, because they stand out in the bush. So if I do hurt myself in the bush, or yeah, have to press the button on the PLB or anything, at least I can be spotted. Not into wearing fluoro. Mind you, it's I do have a bright yellow or bright orange backpack cover that I use at times. If I'm walking or riding in areas where I think there might be shooters, I tend to wear that. Put the bright orange cover on my backpack just so I yeah, stand out. Like in the Highlands in deer season and that, it's the odds of getting shot are pretty slim, but still it's yeah, some people get a bit trigger happy, and especially when you're poking around off track in places where people don't normally go. It's yeah, better to be seen. don't know where she's come from. Sort of middle of nowhere here. Not like we're near a road. I'm wondering if I passed her before and she was just standing off the side of the track or something. That dam, I stopped it on the way in. That was a clay mine. Silicate clay mineral. Used for pottery, paper, refractory and rubber production. Back into the farmland. Which way was the rail trail? Toilet. Electric fence would be easy to grab on the way through. So what are we? I think about 8k back to the camp, a little under. The battery's getting pretty low. I mustn't have charged it up after the last ride. So I've only done, yeah, about 42k. So might have to do some actual pedalling. Oh, well, I have been, but I'll just have to put in a bit more effort. Couple of k to go, and the battery's just about done. From memory, I did set the battery limit higher than what you normally do. Like, I think you can normally run these batteries down to about 38 volts, but I think I've set the zero at like 40, which down at 41.8 at the moment, which is way down there. But fair enough run, lithium battery's dead flat. So I'll just have to do a lot of pedalling for the last couple of k. Oh, well, that's the end of the rail trail. Just back down here to the camp, and we're all done. I reckon I must have set the battery cut off at 42 volts. I set this up a couple of years back. There's well, more than that now, and can't remember what settings I did. I'll have to go back and check them. Not much fun having to do all the pedalling myself, especially when I only have 2 low gears and 2 high gears. Oh yeah, there's a few mountain bike tracks going through. GoPro battery ran flat just on that last bit, but turns out there's a nice little walkway that comes back down into the park here. I think it's Willis Walkway. There's a nice little timber walkway that zigzagged through some ferns. It's quite nice actually. I might duck back in here tomorrow if I can be bothered.